So if you guys are watching this video, you've definitely clicked because you want to know more. And I did have a brain tumor at the age of 20, and it did show up as a grade 4 tumor. And so here's the really long story made really short just for this YouTube video, so that you guys know why I haven't been uploading for a long time, a lot of months. Yeah, so to start off, I guess I spoke to the doctor about this, and he said that this tumor was in my brain for I don't know, I think 2 years or even more. He doesn't know exactly, because it was a slow growing tumor, and it wasn't too easy to tell how many years it was growing for. Yeah, anyways, I flew in from Sydney to Goa in Feb, and I made a video about that. I think a lot of you guys liked that. And after that, I stayed in Goa for 1 or 2 weeks, and then I flew to Kuwait. And on the 14th of March was my flight to fly back to Sydney. And I contacted the airline the same afternoon, and they unfortunately or fortunately told me that my flight was cancelled. So I could not fly back to Sydney due to this flight cancellation, due to the government rules in Kuwait, as they wanted to close the airport as the COVID situation was getting a bit worse. Little did we know that the COVID travel situation was coming along, and that we would not be able to fly anywhere. So passing a few months, I had a really mild seizure on the 28th of May 2020. I did not feel any symptoms before my seizure, which I'm going to talk about later in this video. Throughout my life, that was the first time I ever had a seizure, and that honestly lasted for a minute. My family called the ambulance, and they checked my vitals and everything was fine. I didn't even have to walk to the ambulance, which I think is amazing. Like that, it's like such a big miracle, because usually when you get seizures, it damages your brain. But I was lucky to have a really small one, which didn't affect me as much as I thought it would. A few days later, after the ambulance said everything was fine, they suggested I do a neuro test for my brain. I then did an EEG test a few days later. This test basically finds anything abnormal with a person's brain. So I did that, and the test did show up a little abnormally high. So the doctor did recommend that I do an MRI to find out. And I did that once, and then they asked me to do another one with a dye. And I was really shocked when the neurologist said that it was a big tumor. And what's amazing is that I did not feel anything. Like, I didn't feel anything out on my head or anything like that. Anyways, we got onto this special chartered flight. All this happened during the lockdown period in June from Kuwait. We landed in India late night, and we had to do a 14-day quarantine just for COVID regulations. And oh my gosh, the COVID tests that you have to do before your surgery, or in general, they're really painful. I feel like that's just me, but I really feel they push it up, like it goes into your brain. Like, I don't know if that's just me, that's probably just me. On the next day, I was scheduled to have my craniotomy. The craniotomy is basically an awake brain surgery, which lasts for like 5 to 6 hours, but I'm not too sure. It depends based on how large your tumor is and where it's located in your brain. But yeah, the neuropsychologist that I met before my surgery did a few tests on my reading skills, looking at different pictures and comparing like smiles, different words, and finding circles on the paper with different shapes to find specific shapes. So she was also the person that I was talking to in my surgery. Unfortunately, a few days after my brain surgery, the biopsy did show a grade 4 tumor that was growing in my brain. And that was really saddening, but we knew that with God, everything is possible. I feel like I'm forgetting a few details, but I think that's what a brain surgery is about. Like, you can't remember most of it, but I feel like I'm getting back to 100% Craig before the surgery. Yeah, since this did happen in June. I do believe I can come back to 100% very soon. That's a good sign, I'd say. As I said before, the doctor said that it was a slow growing tumor, and the reason we didn't know was because it was a slow growing tumor. It didn't pop out of my head, or I didn't get any additional symptoms or anything like that. Anyways, after the surgery, I was referred to an oncologist for 6 weeks of radiation, and they made me this face mask which kind of locks into your face, and you gotta sleep, and it like just directs the radiation to the place where you're supposed to get the radiation, and it just lasts for 2 to 3 minutes. And yeah, I had to take chemotherapy every day, and during all of that I felt completely normal. I didn't have any side effects. I just felt like a normal Craig. So anyways, it's been about like 3 months since my last radiation. That's why I could be on social media, that's why I could talk to people. We do pray every day, and having something like this happen to you at such an early age, just age 20, it really does change your mindset. Well, it has definitely changed my mindset. Most of us don't really change our habits when we don't know this person that has a cancer or any other fatal disease, but when you actually do have it, you really feel for the other person who has gone through the same or similar experience. If you currently have cancer or any other sickness or disease, I'm praying for you. I do believe that God does perform miracles, and whatever He does it for a reason in your life. God performed a miracle in my life, and I think if He could do it for me, He can do it for anyone in this world. If you've reached this part of this video, I'm sure that you are probably subscribed or definitely committed to watching this video. I'm sorry if this was a really sad video, but I just wanted to get the truth out there and say out loud what was going on with my life. I'm really happy with my treatment in Kuwait. It's been wonderful, and I do pray to God to keep myself and my family safe every day. Anyways, it's great news that Pfizer and BioNTech have a vaccine available, and we are getting it in Kuwait, and I'm really happy because that's really what the world needs at the moment. Yeah, with online classes and online working, I think a vaccine is just what's needed for everyone's lives to go back to normal. So really, this is one of my short videos. I'm not too sure how long the duration is, but if you are one of my friends watching, thank you for your prayers. Also, if you just came to know, that's what happened in my life, and I'm really happy that I got a chance to say it on my channel where you guys watch my videos. And I'm trying to get back onto YouTube, and since we're still in this pandemic, let me know what you guys want to see on my channel. Anyways, if you haven't hit the subscribe button, do click it, and I'll talk to you guys in my next video. If you don't celebrate Christmas, happy holidays, and if you do celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas.